Hello everyone and welcome to WWE Discussion. I'm your host and WWE enthusiast Dougie Doug. In today's episode I'm going to be discussing Monday Night Raw, November 26, 2023 edition. And this was the first Raw after Survivor Series. And what an event Survivor Series was. You got the return of R-Truth, the return of Randy Orton, and the return of CM Punk. All three of those men would make their presence felt on Monday Night Raw. And with that, we're going to go ahead and get right into the action, starting with CM Punk himself, who made an appearance to close out the last 10-ish minutes of the show and basically cut a return promo. And there's been a lot of talk online about is it good or is it bad, when the real answer is who cares. I think I think a reminder is needed to simply state, hey, just enjoy having him back in WWE and enjoy the things he's going to be able to do, because if you remember how he was in his first run with WWE, he's going to be able to do some great things. So yeah, I think all in all, pretty tame promo segment when you consider what people were probably expecting him to say. And I know there's a lot of people who didn't like it, and then some people who did like it. I enjoyed it, and I wouldn't enjoy having CM Punk being back in WWE, and that is all that's being said. If you don't like it, or if you have negative things about it, you're entitled to your opinion, but at the same time, maybe keep that to yourself. And Seth Rollins, so a feud of CM Punk is inevitable for the World Heavyweight Championship. The question is when. Do you save it for WrestleMania 40? Can you save it for WrestleMania 40? Or are you going to do it at the Royal Rumble? Now, there was a report I saw on the internet about WWE wanting to use this time between now and the Royal Rumble to start building up programs for the Royal Rumble. We saw Cody Rhodes declare for the Rumble, so that's certainly a step in the right direction. And if you were to do Rollins versus Punk at the Rumble, you certainly have quite a bit of time to build up that story and build up that feud. And Seth Rollins, as World Heavyweight Champion, has a lot of responsibilities. He will defend his title next week against Jey Uso, and Drew McIntyre is still looking for a rematch. However, the money matchup is Rollins versus Punk. It's the contest everyone wants to see, and the best way to reintroduce the best in the world in WWE. Rollins showed his value during his rivalry with Cody Rhodes, but there is real heat between the Visionary and Punk. This is a story that can elevate both men if done right, but it should not be delayed. Rollins has never minced his words about Punk. While that heat touches on reality, it has clearly been heightened to set up a story for the future. With all the work put into this, it has the potential to be the hottest angle on Raw. Nothing else is going to stand in comparison to Punk's return feud. Punk versus Rollins should be penciled in for the Royal Rumble WrestleMania would be nice, it would be ideal, but there's just so much time until WrestleMania. I just don't know how you can take that story and stretch it out, or if you're going to be, how you would be able to keep these two apart for that amount of time, and everything else. So there, like I said, you got a lot of time to the Royal Rumble, so you can certainly make it happen. And it would work too, and maybe, it doesn't have to be one and done. You could certainly do a rematch at WrestleMania if you wanted to go that direction. And then Randy Orton made his return to in-ring action on Monday Night Raw, and well, let's just be honest, he's in his best shape, and he is ready to go on a run. Now, what that run will culminate in, who knows, but it's just great having Randy Orton back. And he's returned to action looking bigger and healthier than ever. He's bulked up and is working smoothly in the ring. His return promo is full of confident energy, followed by a fun 9-minute sprint in which he dominated Dominic Mysterio. There are few wrestlers in the world with a higher ceiling for success than Orton. He's a 14-time world champion and could be a title holder again at any time. The Viper should be a major focus on the main roster going forward. He can become a fresh opponent for the Judgment Day and the Bloodline. If WWE wants to maximize Orton at his best, he could be a challenger for Roman Reigns at the Royal Rumble. I think Reigns is scheduled to defend his title at the Royal Rumble, and just like I talked about with Seth Rollins, you have a lot of time between now and the Rumble, so you can certainly start building up that storyline of Orton versus Reigns, a match that was supposed to happen before Randy Orton went on his shelf. And then the Creed brothers, are they going to win the tag team titles? Well, if you look at how they've been booked since they debuted on the main roster, the answer to that question will be yes. So WWE delivered an exciting tag team turmoil match on Raw that became an important moment for the Creed brothers as they defeated DIY, The New Day, and Imperium to become the number one contenders for the tag team titles. That is a strong collection of 12 victories that should set them up as the pairing that dethrones Judgment Day. WWE has protected Julius and Brutus since they first arrived in NXT. Every loss by the tag team has been due to outside circumstances, and the Athletic guys they can reach are almost impossible for others to match. This is the time to create the next great tag team in a division that needs a leader. The Judgment Day is simply too distracted at the moment to stay active, but the Creed brothers don't have those same distractions and would be committed to elevating a talented roster, a talented division. So in conclusion, this week's show had more energy than most episodes of Raw, and while some of that can be credited to CM Punk's return, it wasn't all him. It was across the board. Randy Orton and R-Truth being back after long breaks was a welcome sight, although the Judgment Day didn't seem so happy about Orton being back, and also R-Truth getting powdered sugar all over the couch. Most of the matches were decent. If you did miss the show and you were looking for a match to watch, make it Reed versus Ivar. Anytime you get to see two talented big men fight, you take that opportunity. They pushed each other to the limits. They fought to a double count out, so you know there's another match coming. And I'm all for that one. Sign me up. And with that, that will conclude this episode of WWE Discussion. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to hit that like button down below.